we showed a small decrease, and we're not quite sure where that's going to end up. So notwithstanding that we are asking for a 0% increase, or keeping the same budget with the town as we had last year, we're going to be facing significant reductions beyond that 2%, just trying to manage with reduced fundraising and reduced investment income. As you know, 73%, or I should point out, 73% of our entire budget is personnel, basically. 11% is occupancy, and then the rest comes through books and programs. And again, alluding to the Friends, it's an important issue for us. But if you ask some specific questions, I'll try to answer them, and if I don't have the data, I'll certainly get back to you.
Questions? No? Joe? Mike? Larry?
No, you have so much usage, I think you should start a concession stand. Maybe you'll make some revenues that way.
Well, that's an interesting point, Michael. We do have a book nook, and that's run by the Friends. And what we have in the library is a book nook, and that has generated a bunch of money for the Friends, and that comes back to us for us to purchase books. Another interesting point on that same issue is we've gotten into the internet area. So now we scan these books that are donated to us, and we come up with some surprises about how valuable they are. And rather than hold them for the July sale, we've gone onto the internet, or not we, but the Friends have gone onto the internet, and they sell them on the internet. So all of those increases help in providing books for the library.
Very nice.
The two questions I had are just in the issue of public education. Given what the selectmen asked you to do, what impact specifically, what areas did that affect your budget? What are you doing without that you asked for?
We've reduced the budget in a number of areas. We did reduce it in terms of audiovisuals. We reduced it in terms of programs. We reduced it in terms of various administrative expenses. We've made, I guess, around maybe 20 different changes in that budget. The key thing was salaries. We had included originally in our budget a 3% increase in salaries. That was eliminated, so there will be no salary increases at all.
So everybody's making the same next year?
Correct. But we reduced programs by $1,900. We've reduced programs in the adult department, juvenile, young adults. We've reduced, we're hoping to reduce contractual services, which is always a big issue for us, given the heating system and ventilation system that we have at the library. And basically it was spread around those areas. But one of the key reductions was eliminating any salary increases.
Did you add any people?
Did we add any people? No.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it's quite likely that we will probably, in attempting to do this, not fill a part-time position that we've had in the past.
Okay, so it's safe to assume that your staffing level probably will be less.
Yes.
Okay.
Bear in mind also, John, excuse me, that of the total number of people, there are about 12 permanent people at the library, but there are 29 part-timers, not all at one time, but over the course of the year for the hours that the library is open.
7 days a week.
Right.
Right.
It's 7 days a week.
The last question I had is going to be a similar question that at least I'm going to have to a lot of different departments, and since you're the first one with staff, I'll ask it of you. Has the library board, Judge Peter, have you guys, your group, what if this issue that we're in continues into next year? Have you given any thought to the future? Have you given any thought to how you're going to deal with additional stress year over year if we continue to be in this kind of malaise as it pertains to what you offer to staff, anything like that? Have you had that discussion?
Yes, we have, John, and as I pointed out, of our total budget, 73% is personnel. That's our personnel cost. So if you are under extreme stress, you're going to have to look into that area. And what that is going to mean, it will mean a reduction in hours. There's practically no other way of doing it. The maintenance cost that we have, I mean, the new part of the building is beautiful, but there's an old part which requires a great deal of work. In fact, we just discovered we have possibly a mold problem that we're looking into. But there are always things coming up like that. So the maintenance side is a difficult one to cut. You have to maintain the building. So taking a look at that, yes, that would be a very sad situation, particularly given what Bill pointed out, the incredible increase. In fact, I have a packet here that we distributed 150 of these in the last 2 weeks to people who have come in. It's a job hunting packet. And our reference library is doing a great job with people who are coming in. In fact, one really nice thing, which I included in our numbers for our next meeting, is that we received a grant of $5,000. We're way behind on grants, but we received a grant of $5,000 from General Electric, and they were particularly impressed with the fact that we are helping people in Newtown research for jobs, and it's quite impressive. I can leave this with you.
Thanks.
Have you received that check yet?
The check is in the mail. As a matter of fact, it's funny you should say that, because it was proposed to General Electric and it was granted within 3 days, which is like something of a record. So we're very happy with that.
Any other questions?
I just have a comment. Obviously, people now used to perhaps purchase videos. They're renting the videos from the library. Books, same thing. I know I've seen people in there who are unemployed or looking for work or have who are there. You know, I personally have seen the increase, and it's significant to me that there are no salary increases. It may actually see a reduction. You have an increase in usage. I also see that it looks like the state may have cut some of your grants. I think there's a real strenuous need, and with respect to usage, and it's satisfying to me to see what you've done here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions? Judge Peter, listen, on behalf of the Board of Finance in the town, I got your package. You're one of the first packages I get. One of the first correspondence during every budget since you've taken over. We appreciate you guys illustrating everything about it. It's been a big help. It's enlightened, I think, everybody's understanding. It's budget time when you get your package in the mail, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Moving on. I just want to take a quick second, and then I'm going to turn it over to Joe, because we've kind of taken things out of order. Because I know that he had to get back and Tom had to get back. I wanted to comment on, for the record, on communications that we've been seeing. I kind of glossed over it on our agenda, but we've all been privy to emails that have been sent to us collectively. I wanted to acknowledge them, the senders, and also to thank them. I know that I've gotten a bunch that have been addressed to all of us. I know I've gotten a bunch that have been addressed to me specifically. I'm sure everybody else has gotten the same, both collectively and specifically. A number in favor of the budget, a number in favor of the educational budget, a number in perspective of where we are now and the difficult times and not wanting to see an increase. Since I had an email correspondence, I got 10 emails the following morning after our public hearing, which I wouldn't quantify as any huge amount in the grand scheme of things, because I've been saving them all as I do every year, and we've gotten substantially more, at least I have. I would like to remark that of the 10 that I got, the majority of them mentioned in them about the concern that